Good morning, everyone. My hair is a total disaster, I just realized, but whatever. I'm in the kitchen today and I'm going to be canning. My kitchen is a complete and utter disaster, but that's just garden and canning season and having teenagers. But the other day I was able to can 6 quarts of green beans from my garden. And here they are. Really need to clean my stove. It's a giant mess. But I'm heating up water because I'm gonna cold pack the squash. And I have this book that was my mom's, which in itself is precious, but it's so handy. It just tells me how to do everything, how long to do it, how much to add, and it's really handy. So I've got a lot of my supplies here. Some zucchini someone gave me, lots jars, more jars in the garage, coffee, and I got these tools at the dollar store the other day, so I thought they'd come in handy. Yeah, so I'm gonna get to chopping up all the squash and cold packing them in jars. I don't know if I'm cutting this squash up right, but I'm trying to keep them in the same shape and size roughly. I don't know if it's right, but so I've got all 6 jars packed. Now I'm gonna put a tablespoon of coarse salt or pickling salt in each one and fill with boiling water. And then it's gonna go into, oh, I guess you can't see it, into my pressure canner over there. And my book says I can cold pack it, but then I need to, where is it here? Process for 30 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. So that's what I'm gonna get started now. So there's that. That is 5 pounds. This is 10 pounds of pressure, and then that's 15. But I only need 10, so that's what I'm going to add on when it is ready. So here I'm using a chopstick to get the water to go down into the jars because there was a round piece on top of each jar that wasn't letting the water go down. So just enough to let the water trickle down. There was too much water in my canner and it would have put it over pressure, and so I just poured some out, and I'm going to use that hot water for other stuff. So I'm going to let that boil until there's a constant stream of, I don't know if you can see it from here, a constant stream of steam from there, and then I'm going to put the weights on, and then the little pressure pin will come up, and then I'll start my timer. So I had a steady stream of steam coming from there, so I put the weight on, and I'm going to set the timer for 40 minutes once that pin pops up. For my next item that I'm canning, I'm doing whole plum tomatoes. So I've got them all washed and sorted, and in this blue pot, they're gonna come to a boil for about 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna put them into ice water just to blanch them so I can get the skins off. And then I'm going to pack them in hot jars, pour hot water over them, and put a tablespoon each of salt and sugar in there. And then I'm gonna water bath can them for, I think it's 10 or 15 minutes. I can't remember what the book says, but I'll show all the recipes that I've been using and instructions out of that book that I showed earlier. And I'll come back to you afterwards. So all those tomatoes gave me 3 jars of stewed tomatoes. I thought it was gonna make more, but they cooked down. So I'm just gonna add the sugar and the salt, and then I'll get them in the water bath canner. My squash is almost done in that canner. It's got like 15 seconds left. I'm gonna let the pressure vent naturally. After I wipe the rims of these jars with a bit of vinegar to make sure they're clean, then I'll put the lids and seals on. Once they come to a boil, I will set the timer. There's my squash. I'm gonna listen for the sound that the seals hopefully will make. Yeah, I've got the tomatoes coming up. They should be ready soon as well. And I'm hoping to do zucchini relish this afternoon and blueberries. So, I mean, the blueberries will probably turn into pie filling at some point, or for cheesecake, or just for fruit in a bowl, or over ice cream or something. But I'm gonna hopefully get to blueberries this afternoon because I don't want them to spoil. It just makes me so happy to see all those bubbles, knowing that I'm storing up food for my family. And I'm hoping to put potatoes in the dehydrator for homemade, like box scallop potatoes, like that texture of potato, before they go bad as well. So I'm trying to prevent food waste and save up as much as I can. So the tomatoes are now done, and I'm gonna listen for the seal. I've heard 5 of the squash go so far. So yeah, I should hopefully get to the blueberries I wanna get done after lunch. Okay, so I'm back to do blueberries, and I got these 2-pound containers of blueberries at the store where I work for $3.99, and I couldn't pass up the deal, so I have 4 containers, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 pounds altogether. I'm just gonna wash them, take out any bad ones, and get them in a pot and cover them with water, because the book that I have says to get them hot, pour them into jars, and then pour like a sugar syrup over top. So I'm gonna start making that as well. So I have all my blueberries cooked down with the sugar and the water. I ended up adding pectin, so it's gonna not quite be a jam, it'll more be like a syrup or a topping. So I've got 12 full jars that I'm gonna clean off the rims with vinegar, and then I'm gonna water bath can them, recipe says, for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna set them on the counter to cool. And I'll show you when I get to that point.